Hi everyone. Hi everyone here. I'm very happy to be opening the Muse-X Conference. We are all having a very hectic day today, so this is the calmest moment I've had since the last week, and I'm very happy to share this moment with all of you. We can see that we are a lot of people in this panel. That's because this topic is very important, and when we created actually the panels, it was one that we really wanted to open the conference with this one, with people who created their journey by themselves and who made it through the music industry by following their own route. Welcome Buse, Uran, Marga, Dina, Katarina. I'm very happy you are all here. This will be a very open panel. I have studied all of you a little bit to prepare for this. And as I told you before, Boban, I want to open it with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you have over a decade of experience.
Well, performing maybe more than 16 years, and music production probably 26 years.
Yeah. I mean, I read that for your own country, you have become one of the people who pioneered a lot of the underground movement as well. And with your music, I know that you have the option to create a new kind of sound. So that is that it feels like a very big responsibility to have to represent like a whole country for a genre. I mean, everyone that knows you and everyone who I mentioned that you will be here were actually very surprised and happy.
Thank
So
you.
your sound is very distinct. And I wanted to ask you, did it ever feel like you didn't belong to the scene? Did you, like, over your journey, did you have a moment where you questioned everything?
Of course, like you always put some time period, like at the beginning of my journey was like I will give myself few more years till you made. So basically, it's like if you have a dream, if you have what to say, you shouldn't give up, and it will come at one point, your opportunity.
What kept you running in these difficult moments over your career? What was your motivation in the industry?
I just my inspiration was I just wanted to express myself, to write music, to compose, to this is the this was the priority, not to become a famous. Yeah. So um, my advice is if you want to to become successful at this, is first to follow your dream, and if the music is your dream, you should focus on the music, not on the stage.
Yeah. Thank you so much. We will get back to how the industry has changed and how we are all trying to find ourselves in the new industry that is created. We also have Marga, which also comes from our region, and I'm very happy you are here as well, Marga Sol. We spoke, actually, I'm starting with you from our last conversation we had on our Zoom call, trying to prepare everything. You said that it gets difficult DJing and producing when your life gets on the way, when your responsibilities changed, and when life is changing. This is an industry that when you are growing up, it makes things more difficult. Did you ever felt the pressure to reinvent yourself constantly? And how did you choose in this moment? Did you ever feel the pressure to reinvent yourself in the industry, to recreate your style, your music? Because we know that even in our region, things moved very quickly. Did you ever
Yes.
felt the pressure of that?
Yes, all the time. I think that the only way to succeed to be as a DJ is to reinvent all the time yourself, but keep your authenticity. The music is changing, the trends are changing, and especially for us female DJs, it's a little bit harder than male DJs. Especially if we have families and children and everything. And yeah, I'm almost, I think, more than 20 years active on the music scene, on the world music scene. And I mean, I always loved to play house music, but we all know that the trends are changing and you have to adapt a little bit to the audience, to what they ask from you. But it's very, very important to stay true to yourself on the journey. Otherwise, there is no longevity, you know, you cannot be recognizable. And this is the only way.
How do you find yourself in the Balkan region right now? Like, what do you think it's the future for your plans, like personally? And how do you feel that your personal journey is matching our region right now? We know how things are going on. We also spoke together a lot about this, and we know the difficulties. How are you finding yourself in this moment of the music industry regarding everything that's happening?
Yeah. Okay. I'm not only DJ. I'm basically producer, composer. So DJing came on the way because I really love music. Also, I'm a label owner. I own like 5 publishing labels, record labels. So I work in the music industry, but deep in the music industry. And I can say that, sorry about the question.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
I think so many things, you know, at the moment. I'm sorry.
It was a true moment, actually, a real moment. We will get back to our region because we have a lot to
on the
explain
region.
about
Yeah,
that.
I wanted to say that we're focused on worldwide because Balkan is very, very interesting. There are a lot of talents, a lot of artists here that make amazing music, DJs as well. But I always have been focused worldwide because I think that music unites everybody. It's the only language that connects us, and that's why I do what I do. I mean, everything I do is because we can connect each other, and we can share the same love, the same language, and the same passion. It's a little bit harder on the Balkan nowadays. My opinion, I come from Skopje, Macedonia. The nightlife is not really in good condition at this point. That's why we are focused outside more. And I think the whole world is our stage, you know, and everybody should listen our music, all artists, and we should share it with everyone. Yeah, it's a little bit hard, the industry nowadays, because second point, I would say that social media and everybody's kind of, that's my perception, is focused on the image more than on skills, on music, on artistry. And this is not so, I think that the DJing is so, it's a huge profession, It's not presented as the way it is. So this is what we're struggling all the time.
Yeah,
this is my opinion.
It's a reality that even though we are here to speak about our individual journey, it's a reality that unfortunately connects to all of us right now. So it's something that the independent artists are really going through that a little bit more when the systems and the things are not working properly. But thank you so much for your words. I really appreciate it. We have here Darko Dimitrov. Hi, Darko.
Hello.
Sorry for the morning struggles we had for you.
Don't worry.
So I was reading a lot of. You have such an amazing career, and actually, I didn't know that you were part in some of on the making of some of the most important songs we have in Albania.
Almost.
Yeah.
I'm working in Albania like maybe 25 years or more.
That's, for our young generation, you created some hits.
Every singer almost.
You worked with Elvana Jata, with Piro Chaco, with Agnesa Shahini, with El Haidadani for the Eurovision song.
200-300 maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, every, how to say, uh, I love Albania because I really make a big things here. I started 2000 year 2000 working here, but my first let's say journey started with the one Albanian singer from Macedonia, Erzana, was her name, and then we started with her. Then my door opened through this region in Albania, and from then on work a lot, like maybe daily I work with some Albanian. I have many friends here, many good memories, many awards here. Like I won Kanga Magica 10 times, I think, or more.
It was very
I've been for
impressive.
Eurovision in Albania. I've been 2 times. I've been. I love Albania. I love the energy here. I love the vocals. For me, like a music producer, voice is the main instrument for me because I'm not a DJ, but voice is the main category I focus. It's maybe the one thing that will stay in the world of AI and everything. Only voices will be human when you sing live. So my my goal is to teach singers, to help them to be creative, to make something different, because even the voices sounds like it's limited, but it's unlimited in my opinion. And you can do let's say basic thing I'll tell you. When I started making music and they say, oh, you make great production, like how do you do it? I say it's not in the production, it's in the voice, because if you produce the voice very good, then whole production sounds magnificent.
Actually, when I was reading about you and in your Wikipedia page as well, it said, and this is very interesting, revitalizing the Yugoslav mainstream pop. So you were the person, like one of the pioneers of that. So I believe that you build you build your career. I read a lot about this. You build a career that revitalized a whole culture. What was, if you go back in the moment where you started producing, what was the drive behind your creative process?
You know, first of all, I'm 100% sure that you have to have it in the genes. So it's, you know, when they say you don't have to know, you have to have it, because you cannot learn music. You need to feel it. You need to enjoy it. You need to give something, you know, what you have in your internal memory. That's DNA. So it's then you can let's say, then you can take something from other DNAs and combine and make something different. So first goal of mine was, when I started music, it was not to make music to live from the music, just to enjoy, you know, and that was the main goal, and still it is. So it's say I'm blessed that I can do job that is not quite a job, like let's say job, have to do something what I don't want to do. It's like I'm enjoying every moment and every session in studio. It's especially with many people, because many times we work alone, but I always like people to stay with me and I work with them together. So it's more better, more creative, it's more faster. You finish fast, because when you're alone, you're traveling too far. Like this, you know, what is the goal, where is what is the limit, what is not the limit, you know. And this goal I try to keep all these years, and this keep me going. But in a general was exploring, try to not be in one line, like say to obey the rules all the time. I also finished music academy in Macedonia, in Skopje. And first, what I noticed in first year that the big composers, they always obey rules. The best composers, like the first rule, they teach you Mozart parallel quints. And why? Because he made it, because it was not the rule. He make exemption of the rule. So every composer has different his rule. So then I noticed there is no rules, just enjoy and try to learn to be faster and easier to adopt new things. You just learn for that. You don't learn that you're going to learn how to make music. No, this, if you try to be and to copy all the time something, we all copy all the time, but I'm saying copy, exact copy, you'll be not you'll be just a copy of, if you paint the Mona Lisa, it will be just a copy. Better take a photography. But if you change a little bit, we will notice it. So it's in the music like that. Every song, it's not new song. It's a song, old song, but we change a little tiny thing, like in fashion, you put some little one dot white. Everybody will notice that one. Nobody will notice that it's something else. So in the music, what I'm doing is just that, try to put the dot to shine and to be noticed.
And if you'd give one advice for the young producers, now that we know that we are going through a lot of trends and through we are being affected by global movements a lot. How does one young producer finds himself and his own journey with all these trends going on? How do you, because you created something like a movement from the beginning, but in these modern times that we are living, how does one really does that right now when we know that most of the things like already are out there?
Also, I'll tell you one thing, because I'm philosopher in my head all the time. And when I studied the music, because in the academy we study the history of music. We don't study how to make music, because you just learn from the history. And history says it's always in some period music goes like starting something new and then go to the ceiling. Like that's it. You cannot do, I don't know, they invent violins and strings, and after that, no. But no, there is always more. New styles, new, and after some ceiling, normally it's like a wave. Music, it's also a wave. Down now, I think we are not in the bottom, but we are falling, and then we're going to rise again, because now it's transition music of movement of new computing, new AI stuff, and that was also in 70s when synthesizers came, in 80s when the samplers came, they start to sample original song and make a new song. So it's even worse than AI because AI will make new, but can you imagine you take someone art, you put it in your song and you make. So I'm saying everything can be art. Just, we are in the time when we are transitioning, and transition is always like, we will say this is not good, this is good. But after sometimes new style will come. I'm 100% sure, because I also see this, let's say, I'll go this AI stuff. I can see that he's also stuck after sometimes with the styles he's fit in. So there is a space, a lot of space. So not feeding with that, give something else or mix, or I don't know. And I'm sure that this little crisis will pass, like many crises pass, because humans are the basic thing of humans is creativity, not that we are clever, just creativity. Yes.
Actually, I believe that the times where you are transitioning is the best time to reflect. So it's not decide if something is good or bad, but even individually, I believe that is the best moment for you to stop and reflect. And the transition, in my opinion, somewhere in the history is always needed to do better things. But thank you so much. That was very motivating. I saw someone who was very much confirming on what you're saying. So I will go to you. Do you have the mic? Hello. We have Busi, which everyone who knows me knows her, and everyone who knows her knows me. We are very well connected together. I know your journey by heart. I know that you went through sound engineering to working with some of the biggest companies in Istanbul, going through production, DJing, and now to Berlin. You've always been independent in your journey, and this is why you are so much deserving of being in this panel. I want to go to, because I will connect it to the transition point. You are also in your own journey in a transition point. I know moving wasn't easy, and I think that it proved the point that you are amazing at what you do. I think that I want to ask, what are the biggest struggles that you faced by being an international artist in between two very different, between Istanbul and Berlin right now? How is the transition going for you? And what advice would you give to someone who is also going through this period, through the moving and reconnecting and reinventing themselves?
First of all, thank you for having me. I'm proud of your work, really. Actually, this is like, it will sound cliche, but this is like a never-ending journey. Like you should always, like, even though you're comfortable with your art about like what you do, you should always, like try to update yourself, try get new skills or go to other places. For me, in my case, I've been in very like I've been doing everything like independently, and also with some very important companies as well, which also really like contributed to my journey. But it's a, like, being an independent artist, being creative, it's a journey which never ends. And people often, I think the biggest like hardest part is that everyone starts like wants to get somewhere, and actually you will never get there. So it's like, it's actually, it's the journey, really. It will sound cliche, but this is how it is. So for me, like I've been doing like like so many things that I can do, like for the scene, for my collective and everything. But for example, about my move, to go to a new place and start learning from there, which is Berlin, which is like a really amazing hotspot for artists. I was playing in my country, in also Berlin, before I moved for so many times. But the reason that I moved is actually to be able to like experience more things, like different people, different agencies, different labels, different clubs. So, I highly recommend to everyone. And like everyone's journey is different, but like on the way, like for example learning AI or something else, like this, moving somewhere, like getting different atmospheres really nourishes you. So that was about my journey, basically.
I also want to go back to your past experience at Zorlu Center in Istanbul. So you also, as an independent artist, had the option to work with some of the biggest venue location in Istanbul. How does it feel to be an independent artist joining such a big team? And what is something that you learned from that experience?
Actually, I was working as a booker in different places before for electronic music, but at Zorlu, which is like a regionally also very, very big performing arts center, it's like where musicals are like performed, whereas Sonar Istanbul is being taking place. So for me to be in the team of Zorlu was like really like really, like, because I was the booker and I had to really book these artists from different genres, which actually like how they make their music, like it had, like, for me, I had to always see what they're doing from other genres, like how they make their music, what kind of projects that they have, what kind of albums that they have, what they're integrating to their sound, which was like very very a good experience, because you experience so many things when you book the artists. So it was a very good experience in the end.
And you said that it's very difficult to reach the point where you want to get. What is your current goal? And how does that, because I will go to the name of the panel, Climbing the Creative Ladder, in which step of this ladder you are, and what is the next goal for you?
I think like to be able to play in so many places, to be able to have a collective, like play, like and like do make music and like play in many parts of the world was the goal. But now I think just to be able to reflect my art and like make music frequently, which reflects myself very comfortably. I think making art like this would be the end goal. So like because in this fast paced environment, it's endless. You have to do this, you have to do that. It's like it feels like a race almost, and I'm kind of fed up with it. So like for me, like at the moment, how I feel is just like not stress myself and not just make like super super high goals and like stress myself, but rather than, because today's environment, electronic music is a little bit like got more commercial, and it's always a really really big race about have this much followers, that much followers, but we always forget that it's actually an underground music. It originated as an underground music, and the only important thing is just to make music, share, play, like do showcases, connect with people. I think that's like we should really we must really just turn back to the origin a little bit, and just like not racing all the time. That's how I feel at the moment.
Thank you so much. I mean, that's how we all feel, especially when you don't have a team behind you and you have to kind of handle it everything. That's what most of us is going to right now. But I believe that there is a certain moment when you meet the right people and you create the right team, and that is a big goal. From an independent artist, and from what I said, I would like to continue to Katerina.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. First of all, I wanted to go from an independent artist like Bootsy to someone who really helps artists reach their dream and goals. I know your amazing experience of 15 years with Martin Garrix. That's
Close to 10 years.
10
I was his
years.
agent for close to 10 years, but I've been in the industry for more than 15 years, yeah.
Now you are a co-founder of Love Life, a very well networked person in your career, and you are meeting and dealing with artists the whole time. I want to ask, from your perspective, for an artist and for an agent and for a manager, for someone creative in the industry, what is the moment that you really feel like it pays out? All the long nights, the tiring, all the process. When is a moment that you felt like, okay, this is the industry I belong, and an industry that it makes me happy?
Well, I guess for me personally, I think it's seeing the success of an artist when you've really worked hard. When you start from scratch, when it's really hard to book them, when it's really hard to get the gigs, up to the point where you suddenly see, oh, wow, requests are starting to come in. He's really growing as an artist, and then show, and then you see the crowd, the reaction, the energy. I think that's when you really see that, wow, this is super cool. So it's been a journey, and here we are, and it's a huge success. I think that's for me when I feel like, okay, it kind of pays off. Yeah.
Dealing with artists and working with artists, what is a moment when you had to tell an artist a hard truth that maybe you can bring it to us again? What is something hard to tell to an artist, and something that maybe they really don't want to hear, but in a certain moment of our careers, we need to hear it? If you have a moment that you recognize from this.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I'm definitely a very straightforward person, and I've had several moments with several artists when I was really honest with them. And I think one big mistake some artists make is that they don't realize that often they'll be surrounded by people who say yes to everything they do and really praise them and are like, wow, this is incredible, you're the best and you're amazing. But at the same time, the people that actually criticize you are the ones you should mostly listen to, because they will help you grow, they will help you evolve, they will help you get better. But I do understand for artists it's really hard, because it's really hard to take criticism. You have a lot of pressure because you release something, everyone thinks it's amazing, and then you release a next thing, and then suddenly people are like, oh, I really don't like it, the first one was way better. And I mean, let's face it, it's not easy to be an artist, right? Like, you have to be in the spotlight, everybody's looking at you, looking at what you're doing. And I think you just really have to be tough and be able to take criticism, because I think that's what will help you grow.
And what is in this case, what is like not the biggest, because that's a very difficult thing to measure, but what's the biggest mistake, let's say, that an artist does when they are trying to make it in the industry? What is something that you have faced during your career that is like your red flag? Like, what is something that we as the young artists we should know that probably can skip it?
Yeah, I mean, there's always exceptions to the rule, but if you're looking at it from a commercial perspective, I think that many artists, if they're really talented and they think they have really amazing music or great talent, they feel like, okay, this is what it takes to make it. But I think, especially ever since TikTok, it's artists have to not only be super talented and be great performers, but they also really need to be content creators and constantly put out content, constantly connect with their fans, connect with promoters. I mean, be their own brand managers. I think it's really challenging these days. And of course, there's always exceptions to the rule, especially in certain niche genres, I would say. But in the commercial genres, I think this is really, really hard work. I mean, I see it with artists. I see how much they have to post and how active they have to be. And I mean, it's crazy. I don't know where they get the energy from. Plus, you have to tour, you have to produce music. I mean, it's crazy. It's not an easy job, for sure.
Yeah, you have to be in a lot of positions.
Yeah.
And if we can have like a real small panel on how your career is looking right now, and what are your maybe some future plans or some projects that we may follow.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I was the agent of Martin Garrix, which was an amazing journey. Like, we started from before he released his mega hit Animals up until, he was a big DJ globally. And I chose to leave that company. Obviously, it had nothing to do with my artist, but I just wanted to start something of my own. And then I started managing a couple of techno DJs, which I'm quite happy with how they've evolved so far. It's been like 2 years, and one of the guys is really growing quite a lot. But of course, I have those hard conversations with them as well, about, okay, maybe you need to adjust your styling. And I know it sounds really ridiculous to some creators. I'm sure that you think like, oh my God, that should not be important. But unfortunately, that's really the reality, because you have to think about your demographic and how you can connect with them, and how they can identify with you, because this is what will keep them loyal to you, because if you want to appeal to kids like 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, then you should also maybe dress a way that they think, oh, that's cool. And unfortunately, that's really what it is in this commercial world.
Yeah, I mean, it's a whole package right now that it should work.
Exactly.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
But thank you so much, Katarina, for
Thank
your
you.
words. I think it's valuable. I know it's like a hard truth sometimes for us artists to listen, that we have to take care of the image and everything, but the world is working like that right now.
But I do want to quickly say, it's not about being perfect. Like, it's really about finding your own angle. Like, you just have to show who you are, and that's what's important. So you just have to be unique. I think that's what matters. Yeah.
And in that matter, I would add that building a community is always important. So now I will go to a pioneer of doing that. We have Uran B, one of my personal favorites, and he knows that.
Thank you so much.
A pioneer of Balkans underground scene, co-founder of Hapsira, and you also got the Best Regional Act of 2025 by Ambassadors Awards, and everyone, of course, remembers the famous Boiler Room Kosovo. Like that's very famous right now. And now the founder of Kismet, which I will say congrats on the name. I love it.
Thank you so much.
So you are not only an artist at this moment. You have been building platforms, communities, and I believe that you have, for your country and for Albania as well, because we all remember the nights where we were at Hapsira. You created a collective memory for our generation. What pushed you? And this is something that I'm very curious to know. What pushed you to create something that exists for others and it goes beyond yourself?
I mean, to tell you the truth, when I started with the music, I never had a goal. Even today, I don't have a goal. Maybe that's the main reason. Because if you love something and if you have it on your genes, for example, I haven't finished any musical school at all. But in our family, we have so many important artists and stuff. So I always told also my father, because he always dreamt of me of being a doctor or an engineer or something like that. And when I started DJing, he would leave the door with the key so I can't open it, because he was rejecting or trying to reject. I would say it's love and devotion. I never dreamt of, of coming this far. If you ask me, I really, it's been like 22 years in the scene now. And if I go back, it feels like 22 days. And in this time, there has been so many struggles. As an artist, Katerina said that you always get these positive feedbacks and stuff, and people saying, yes, you are the best and stuff. But then there comes one that says you are the worst, and you stop on that. You have 1,000 good comments, but there is this one bad comment, and you keep on that. Maybe those were like some of the main things that made me push myself, those bad comments that I would receive, because Kosovo and Albania, in contrast to the other ex-Yugoslavian countries, I'm adding also Albania because now we are Balkans, so we were way behind them, always. And I would always say that we have to keep up, we have to push the boundaries, and we have to follow up with the other Balkan countries as well. And when Hapsira started, it was kind of that mission and vision of like, okay, because let me just be brief here. I was rejected 3 times to play in Europe before creating Hapsira. And then with my friend, we said, okay, they are rejecting us. We can't get the visas. Okay, fuck that. If we can't go to Berlin, let's bring Berlin to Pristina. That was the main aim. And we really had this 15 years of really hard work, I would say. We were a small team. In Balkans, it's really difficult to create a collective team, in the sports as well. Mainly, okay, nowadays we are becoming good in collective sports, but mainly we are good in individual sports, that. So it's really difficult to create a team. But all in all, what we started, maybe it is the thing is that what made people love what we do is that because we made them feel free. Like really, you had freedom, and music all in all is not a competition. We should know this. We are not in a sports games, Music should connect people. Music should provide everyone a space. Let them be different religion, different race, different, whatever it is. We have to be all connected. This is what art is supposed to bring us. Because if there wasn't art and music, we would be all maybe now just this world anymore. So It's definitely, you know, as it's also difficult for me to keep up because I'm thinking as you did also. What was the question?
Well, you also have a big event tomorrow, so I really understand that. But where I wanted to stop, I know that you can't lose space, but you kind of had a heartbreaking moment with Hapsira. How did that feel, and in which period of your life that moment took you? So I want to know, how was your career after that? I know that you had some difficulties, and maybe that was a transitional moment for you as well.
Hapsira's main mission was to protect the ex-brutalist architecture of ex-Yugoslavia. Mainly, because we were losing those spaces, and in Pristina now we can say that we don't have any more any such spaces. So we lost this space which we were fighting for like for years. Our dream was to gain a long-term permission of using it and to turn it into a multidisciplinary venue, but that never happened. And yes, that was a big setback for me because I trusted the process so much on the way that because someone has to sacrifice himself, herself, in order for the others to get into the game. So maybe I'm one of those. So I'm happy to be one of those, actually. Maybe that was my goal, you know, just sacrifice yourself so that, and maybe we have lost a space, okay, in Pristina, but today I see a flourishing scene. I see alternative artists. One of them is just standing right there. And so when I see new artists coming down the way and trying to build up an alternative scene in this underground scene that we have, which is so separated nowadays. We have also, underground has become also commercial nowadays. When you see this alternative community blooming, that gives me hope, and that gives me the answer that, okay, maybe one space was lost, maybe one initiative such as Hapsira was lost, but there is a continuation to that, and that is for me the end goal. I would
That's a
say.
very positive
Yes.
take out
Yeah.
from everything.
Thank
And
you.
I know personally that it's very difficult to go to that moment when you kind of accept how everything happens, and you kind of accept that everything happens maybe for a bigger reason, and you see and you respect the old and the young generation as well. That is something that, because of what Busi said, because of the race that we feel that we are all the time, somehow we kind of forget what the main point is about. And for this, I have a very nice quote which I got in the website of one of you, which is Dina Fanay. I'm very, very happy that you are here. Thank you, Ran, for all your words. We'll get back quickly at the end with all of you. Dina, you are the one coming from the farthest from us. You are from USA. You had a very long trip to Albania, and I'm very happy and welcome to Albania.
Thrilled to be here.
You have, as I said to you before, a very interesting career. I will just mention a few things, but I want you to really just present yourself a little bit more for us and for your journey. I know that you have one produced song, Someday at Christmas, that reached the #1 Billboard Classic chart. And that, for us who have been growing up with international TV here in Albania as well, knowing that we have someone who reached that, it's very, very interesting. On your website, I read something very interesting, and I would like for us to start from that point. May we each experience and remember the truth of who we really are and find magic and peace in connection to Earth. That is something that it really, I was reading it when I was in a rush, and when I read it, it actually moved something in me. Like, this is why we are doing actually what we are doing. So I would like to start from that. And I feel like your work is deeply emotional and storytelling driven. How did that process start after your education moment?
Well, speaking of that specific that quote, so I think you had mentioned earlier that you didn't start thinking that you were going to, do this for a career. I started writing because I needed to write. It was how I healed. It's how I, went through my own journey of healing and recovery. And I started writing, and it was just flowing through me, not because I wanted to be a songwriter when I grew up, but I ended up putting some songs out and ended up getting kind of some. It got heard by the Songwriters Hall of Fame, and I had to perform when I had only written a couple of songs in my life, and they were like, "You need to give us a bio." And before that, I was a dancer actually, so I wasn't even a musician. And I was like, I don't really have a music bio. And I sat, and the words that came out were, we each have a journey, a voice, a vision. We are part of something greater, an infinite tapestry. As we each fulfill our destiny, we inspire others to do the same. We find the courage to walk through darkness, giving us the sight and the capacity to hold our own unique light and the strength to shine that light for each other. It is here we rise. May we each experience and remember the truth of who we really are, to fully realize our potential and our magic in connection to Earth. We each have a journey, a voice, a vision. And I was like, this is my bio. And they said, that is not a bio. And I said, well, that's all I got. So that's kind of how it started. But so how did I start writing? I basically was transitioning from dance at the time, and songs started pouring through me. I had a keyboard, and I just wrote and wrote and wrote and sang, and then it just kind of, after many, many years, turned into, obviously, like, as a songwriter, recording artist, but then I started writing and producing for other people, and it's, you just keep going, and you do what you need to do for your soul, and hopefully that inspires others,
And now you have founded Avalona.
Yeah.
I want to know, how does it feel? Because when we had our first call, our Zoom meeting, the first one, I felt like I was really connected to your team. I felt like you were very connected to each other. And that is something, actually, that even personally, I aspire to find. A team that you can trust, and a team that from this individual journey, you kind of find in the way and you belong with them. How does it feel to go from this independent career to finding people that you trust with your dream? How does that feel, and how does one create a team environment that is easy for everyone and it belongs to everyone?
Thank God for the people that we are surrounded by as artists. If we don't have that, it is not possible, I don't think, to navigate through this musical journey without that. Two of my team members are right here. But I think to feel that you have created a support network and a family and a safe place where you can create, and you trust them, and you trust them for the positives and the negatives and whatever you have to say, because if you don't have that support team around you that you can't trust, you don't have the freedom to really move through your creativity. I feel very safe being an artist, knowing I have people that I trust around me that can tell me the truth, that can support me, that can slow me down, that can kick me. And I think that's also, it's created by, relationships. I think this career, we were just having this conversation on the way here today. So much of, I think, as an artist, our career and our success as artists is doing what you do from an authentic place, creating really supportive, authentic relationships, true relationships, because we all know that when you get that call who should I hire? Who, do you know an artist? Do you know a singer? Do you know a guitar player? Do you know a producer? It's we want to lift each other up. And so having that team, I mean, you've got your small team, and then we've got our big pod in our family, and we're really, you know, music is something that in a world with so much division right now and so much separation and so much conflict, to know that we are in a community that we can make change, we can connect, we can tell our stories, and we can inspire each other to tell their own. And I think, so, you know, I have my close team, but I feel like this is a team, like who on this panel does not agree with every single thing said? You know, we're in this together.
Thank you so much, Dina. And it's very lovely to have you here. I can't wait to speak more in the upcoming days with each of you. We have a lot of conversation to do. Unfortunately, the time of this panel is ended. I had prepared like so many more questions because as you see, I like to speak and ask a lot. But we have a very, very tight schedule today. Now we start with the DJ battles that some of you are also joining. But I really, really want to thank you for all your words, for your inspiration, and for accepting our invitation. It's our second edition, and actually having people like you accepting and joining us, it's really, really an achievement. So thank you once more for being here. I can't wait to have some more conversations with you, and let's see you in the next panel. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you for having me.